be discussing love bombing, and it does tie into stalking. So this is one of the initial steps in this cycle that we see with anyone who is of a narcissistic background, be it high-level narcissist, psychopath, or has the narcissistic personality disorder. Love bombing. What is love bombing? It is a manipulative tactic used by individuals in order to hook you. So you can think that they're wonderful and glamorous or all these great things about them, and yet they have their own agenda in mind, and they're doing this with, unfortunately, nefarious motives. So here's some ways or things that you can look for. Here's some of the signs that are out there if you feel like you're being love bombed by an individual. One is going to be when you first meet them, they're going to be so enthralled with you, okay? They're going to love everything you say, everything you do, what you're wearing. Oh my gosh, where did you get that? I mean, flattery to the extreme. And that is not common with just your regular person who doesn't have these issues, right? So notice that it probably makes you uncomfortable. The first few times you're probably like, you take it, but then once it just keeps coming on layer after layer, you're like, wow, this is like, it's over the top, which is exactly how they are, which, leads to some of the types of narcissists that are out there. So there's one of your first clues is extreme flattery, especially right when they see you. The second one's going to be gift giving. So if they've just met you or you've agreed to meet them to go somewhere on your first date, they will have a gift for you already. And not just the regular old school, like maybe grandparents' days where it's like, let me come with my flowers. Like who's doing that in our modern age, really? Not too many people, right? Maybe they're charmers and so they do that, but typically that's not really happening. So you watch out for that, but it won't just be your regular flowers, right? If you've had some type of conversation with them, they're very keen to pick up on things that you say. So if you have a favorite store that you like to shop at for retail, clothes, shoes, jewelry, it can even be as minor as like food stores. So if you're like, oh my gosh, this is the favorite place where I love to get chocolate or ice cream or my favorite, crepes, cookies, you get what I'm saying here. They will surprise you with that. And you'll think, oh my gosh, they were listening to me and nobody's ever listened to me like this before. That, on your first date, you're kind of just like, ooh, you're probably feeling really good about it. But if you continue to see that pattern, that's part of the love bombing. That's them trying to break down a barrier with you so you can trust them. And that's the manipulative tactic that they're using. Let me think what else. It might be gag gifts too. Gag gifts that you can think about. Something funny from a candy ball machine or something like that. That's just like joke, I've seen all of that as well, right? So it's all forms to make you laugh, to just anything to just, again, break down the barrier so you can just trust them. Let's see what else. So, okay. Also, they can do this. I've seen this a lot too. It's very prevalent. Even if you haven't yet met them and feel comfortable enough to do a one-on-one date, if you're in a group setting, this can be kind of embarrassing depending on how you take things. But they'll also bring the gifts in front of people. And this doesn't help because a lot of these people, especially if they're their friends, they think like, oh my gosh, this person is so sweet. They're giving you gifts and they don't even know you that well and they just really like you. Oh my gosh, this person's so nice. That's already, people really just don't do that, to be honest, okay? So hence watch out for that. So if you see that at a group gathering and you have yet to say yes to the one-on-one, to a get to know you or an official date, please put the flags up. That should already be, we think things are yellow flags, but with these people, it's automatically to the red flag stage. So just know that. The next thing is going to be, once you do, if they've gotten you and they've charmed you, because they're really good at it, don't feel bad. These people are master manipulators. If you've gotten to the date phase and you're starting to date them, they will then come on you really strongly with the emotional aspect of loving you. Like, oh my gosh, I love you. I can't live without you. You're the one I've been waiting for my entire life. Really? Are you sure? Especially if they're older, that's way too aggressive. You would think you would see these type of things in children, or children being teenagers, right? Where they kind of fall in love fast and you're in high school. And it's like, oh my gosh. Adults, typically healthy adults, let me say that, typically go through a very progressive, gradual phase of this. With them, everything is shortened. Everything is on their timeline, and they want to get it done right then, right away. They have this agenda in place. You don't know what it is. They're doing well at hiding it from you. So just keep that in mind. If they start bombarding you with not just the gifts and the flattery, and you're in the dating stage and that comes on, you need to back away. Try your best to get out of it at that stage, because it's going to continue to get worse, and they're probably already setting up for marriage. You might have even heard it early on too. You might have heard it within a week or less, 3 weeks or less. These people are very aggressive. They'll already be talking, long-term plans. Oh my gosh, you should move in with me. You should have the key to my place. They'll give you passwords to everything. Even you don't have to ask for any of this. They'll just lay it on you. And that is very uncomfortable. Just think about, if you're a person who's not like this, you're a healthy person, you wouldn't just voluntarily just open everything up, right? So that is, again, another flag, and you have to make this a red color flag. Okay. Love bombing, again, is inclusive of swarming you with all types of texts. Like, just, oh my gosh, you just meet someone. I've seen this, I've had it, personal experience. Barely just someone on a whim, they have your number, and it's like, oh my gosh, I miss you already. What? Like, you never knew me before last week, and it's been 2 days. And for instance, my example would be at the gym. This person, for me, I'm big on my faith, so I'm like, hey, I don't mind inviting you to a church or something like that. But then again, they misconstrued context, and they also didn't listen to anything that I said. So this let me know I'm dealing with a narcissist. I cut that off right away. Their intentions were, again, of malicious, more intent. So thankfully that didn't go anywhere. But already just seeing that, like, you're texting me and then you're saying you miss me, I mean, I'm not going to return any of that. I'm not going to reciprocate that, because it's not true on my end. Plus, that's not what the context of any of that was. And so they blow things out of proportion. So just be mindful of that. If somebody is just out of control with text, they're already trying to get you into this conditioning phase where you have to respond right away. First, it's going to be lovey-dovey stuff. Like, oh my gosh, I just miss you. Are you there? Are you okay? I just want to make sure you're okay. I mean, they go over and beyond, right? Like, you probably have lived your entire life. I'm speaking to more adults, right? So anyone beyond 25 or something, you've lived your life, you know how to take care of yourself and all this stuff, but all of a sudden they become needy on you, but try to reverse it. And so you will then see how it's like, are you okay? Did you make it back home okay? I want to do this. I want to follow you. I want to follow you home. I want to make sure you're okay. And you didn't you were doing just fine before they appeared in your life. And so you don't need that. And it's just like, hey, again, another one to look out for. If you see that early on, cut this off ASAP. Okay, during this time that I've been talking, I have mentioned it, but I want to make sure you understand this as well. They don't understand boundaries, they know nothing about it. So if you've caught on to this early on, and just not even knowing you were getting love bombed, but you kind of were like, hey, just pump the brakes a little, like this is too much. If you've said that, if you said, hey, I don't feel comfortable with these gifts right now, like I'm just getting to know you, I don't even know you, or we're just friends, and you know what I mean? They will not listen to you. They have no regard for boundaries, and they will not. They never will unless they get some extreme help. And a lot of times these people aren't going in for help, so it doesn't happen. So the term never can be used there. But, just know that they don't understand these boundaries. And I say that to end it with, this is how it can go into a stalking thing, right? So if you have been able to find the the gumption, right, to stop it early on, this is where deceit comes in. They will then maybe stop, but they don't really stop, okay? They'll agree and say, oh my gosh, something. They might agree, or they might just stop, but they don't. They'll keep doing things. So they'll keep looking, following you. They'll put stuff on your car. They could get into more extreme things as well. Planting things in your home, listening devices on your car, air tags, all these other things, which falls into the stalking category. That's how come it's really something you want to nip in the bud early on, so they don't get this possessive type of effect to you to where it begins to be a stalking incident. So I hope this helps. I'll be coming with some more tips. Feel free to leave some comments or questions that I can answer, and I'll be happy to do so. All right, stay safe.